Hello everyone, I'm Joanne and welcome to my craft room. I'm very happy to be here with you today. I'm also an affiliate for Spellbinders and Amazon and scrapbook.com. Please click the links below for the featured items in this video from Spellbinders. If you would like to place an order, I do receive a small commission. Today we're using the Spellbinders hot foil plate and die set Diamond Floral Frame. I'm very excited about this. I think that this diamond is just beautiful. I happen to love Yana's designs. She's so elegant. And I am really into the hot foiling and how these cards here lately have been coming out. Okay, so next what we're going to talk about here is the quick trim. And the quick trim is a little apparatus that has like a mat that is self-healing, and then a little plastic kind of acrylic plate that goes on top of it, and then these two blades, and they're very, very sharp. One is for foil and one is for paper. So what I'm doing here is showing you that as soon as I use that blade, I like to put it right back into the package because I know one of these days I'm going to slice myself. So that's the self-healing mat. And then the gold foil is so pretty. And I just kind of put it on there. And then this is that clear acrylic. And it's special because it's kind of raised up a little bit. And it has like feet on the top and the bottom. And then as you put it onto your project right there, you can adjust your foil in any way. You can scoot it in and out if you'd like, or up and down, whether you're using foil or paper, and just use the proper trimmer there to trim whatever you have underneath. Now, right here, I go ahead to line my diamond up, and, you know, I want to maximize my foil that I'm going to use, and so those slits really help you. It also, this is really great to cut those slits right there. I think they're like about a ½ inch, and they will help you also with sentiments. So, with that being said, you can go ahead and adjust your foil any way you'd like, scooch it out just a little bit, and get it right into the groove that you really need. So here, what I'm saying is take the blade, put it down into the groove up to the white part of that blade right there, and you'll feel it drop into the little notch when you put it in there, and it's just at the right position. You'll feel it drop in, and it'll go flush to the clear plate. Then just go ahead and slice your foil. And hold down that part of the clear plate is what I'm telling you there, because it is raised up a little bit, so it does help if you kind of push it down a little bit. All right, get a nice clear, clean cut. And now we're going to turn it so that then we even save more foil. So here I just give it a little turn and then use my clear plastic to go on top and put the die, and then I can cut it again and have a nice little strip at the bottom if you want to make the flowers or sentiment. Always save your foil. And here I'm just scooching it out this way. Then I line up on one of those clear, you know, in the clear plate in the groove, so that I just line up in one of them and cut it really nice. That's all I'm doing right there. Bear with me, it's my first voiceover and the video sped up a little bit, so yeah, I'm trying it. I'm really trying it this time. How funny. And I'm happy that you all are a part of it with me. Now here's some extra foil, and of course for sentiment or flowers or something like that would be absolutely fantastic. Okay, now, so now that we're finished with that, of course you see me put that blade away. And I was grabbing my plate. I believe it might be in ½ inch increments. Yeah, I think that's what I said, 1/2 inch, not quarter. Okay, so I grabbed my plate, my hot foil plate, my diamond hot foil plate there. And what I'm doing is I'm thinking I'm putting it in the center. I hate to measure, guys. I'm just not a person to measure. So with that being said, so I just kind of eyeball everything, and then I'm going to tape this down. I know I can see it now that I'm doing this voiceover, that I'm off to the left a little bit, but it's okay because I always wanted to make a page that said, or I don't know, like a craft channel that was, let's make lemonade out of lemons, right? Because we always can find a way to make something work and make it look absolutely fantastic and make it look like that's exactly what we intended to do. So right here, I'm making a little hinge, and I'm telling you to put the tape on the flat part of the die instead of up at the top at the point. Leave a little bit of the tape showing when you pull it back there, so that then you go ahead and put your foil up to it and just scooch it around a little bit. And close your die or your hot foil plate onto the gold foil. And then, see what I'm showing you there is you could see a little bit of the hot foil sticking out where the tape is, and that's good because then you know that your plate is going to get the foil onto your cardstock really well. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and add another piece of tape and to hold it down. And you always want to use pretty side to pretty side. So the pretty side of the foil is up looking at me, and the pretty side of the hot foil plate is down onto the foil. What I mean by that is like anything that has any dimension to it is the pretty side of the hot foil plate. So you're going to put a little bit more tape. And you really don't need 3. 2's fine. But, you know, being new at it and everything, I just kind of try to make sure, but I think 2 would be fine. Now, you can move it in any way you want, and it's not going to fall off. Isn't that nice? And now I'm going to go ahead and put it on top of my hot foil plate. And I've got my lights are ready to go. I've moved in the it's actually the stamp, cut, and emboss machine. I don't have a Spellbinders yet, but I will be getting one in the near future probably. And then we hit the next button. It's the timer button, and it's blinking, and we wait for it to stop blinking to go ahead and feed it through the machine. And my shims, I use like that light greenish blue one, and then the clear one on top. The clear one has bevel on either end, so it goes through the die cut machine really well. And we're just waiting a second there for it to turn green, and it did, which is wonderful. And we're going to just undock and go ahead and place that in the machine and roll it through. And roll slowly. Always when you hot foil, roll slowly so that the foil does press into the paper. Just like that. Now we're going to redock it. And let's see what we got here. I shouldn't say got. Let's see what we have here. Now we're going to go ahead and, oh, look how pretty that came. And I sped it up just a little bit. I didn't realize I have to speed up on every single clip. So now we're going to offset the diamond to the right. This is going to make such a pretty effect on this card. We're going to hinge it where it's flat away from the foil so that we don't lift the foil up on our tape. That's really important. That's what I'm saying right there. And we're just going to go ahead and tape that down. Get our foil underneath it. We've got the timer button going. And away we go. We're going to put the shims and we're blinking. I just love this. It's so much fun. I could sit in here in this craft room and foil everything I have all day. Which I know you're like, oh my gosh, yeah. But I can't, it seriously is just so much fun. Okay, now the light is solid again. And we're going to run it through the die cut machine. You know, every die cut machine is different, okay? So sometimes you have to use a shim, sometimes you don't. You know, it just all depends. Roll slowly. I think this is still sped up a little bit. Yep, look at how beautiful that is. Now, I want to say this much. Looking at this on camera right here, I could have stopped right there because it's in the middle, okay? Like it's centered. I should have just stopped it too, okay, if I really wanted it centered. But I think it looks great with the 3 anyway. And you'll see toward the end how we kind of correct that mistake, making lemonade out of lemons. So I'm going to cut another piece of foil because it's actually cut out of here. I made a boo-boo and didn't do pretty side to pretty side, and I actually hot foiled my hot foil plate, my diamond hot foil plate. So, but it's really easy to, don't worry about that. If anything gets on something like that, you take some acetone, you know, like you would use for your fingernails, and just rub it on there. It takes it right off, does not ruin anything, and you can also use that acetone on the plates, does not ruin it. I'm doing the same thing as I did before. I'm just cutting another piece. And also, oh, I did want to say that the cutting plate and the 2 shims right there, okay, the clear and the like greenish colored one, they do now have replacements for them available. I'll link it below for you guys. So here we go. We're still cutting more off, and just to save that, you know, if we want to make flowers or whatever, so that's fun. I try to be careful not to scratch the foil with my fingers. And now I'm going to go ahead and hinge the diamond to the left side here. And you can see right now, I don't know why I didn't even myself see it, but I was all the way to the right side with the point of the diamond there. But it's okay. It really, honest to goodness, I love the card. I would give it away to anyone. Whoops. And do not put the tape. Do not. That's a no-no. Put the tape where the foil already is. Pretty side to pretty side. Right here. Getting faster at it. Getting a little bit better at it. You know, the more you do things, the better you get at it. So, and another piece of tape. Let's put it down on our machine. Our button is ready. We're going to put our shims down. Green first, then a clear. Bring in the die cut machine. Oh, put that blade away. And that thing scares the bejesus out of me, because you all know, if you have followed me before, if anything disastrous is going to happen, it's going to happen in this craft room at that table. I promise. Rolling it through. I'm actually going slow. The video is sped up. But you're going to love this. It just looks so pretty with the 3 of them, right? And let's go ahead and do a little reveal here and see how it comes. That's a silicone bat. That comes with your Glimmer machine when you purchase it. Right there. I peel it slow. Even though it's the best ever craft tape, I peel it slow. Now I'm showing you, see it's off center a little bit. We could even use it that way. I think it makes a beautiful dimension. And again, if I'd have seen it, I'd have stopped it too. But when you see the end of the card, you'll be like, oh, wow, it did come out great. Again, making lemonade out of lemons. So now I have the solid hot foil plate. And I want to use this negative. I call this the negative part of the foil. Now, and this is a way to use up all of your foil, guys. This is if you purchase a Glimmer machine, please go ahead and just purchase the solid hot foil plate, because you're going to want it. It uses up every bit of your foil. You get double the amount of embellishments for the same. And I am using Hammermill cardstock, 100 pounds, smooth. Just make sure you've got some good smooth cardstock to hot foil on. Although I have hot foiled on color cardstock that has a little texture to it, it still comes out pretty good. So we're just going to let that heat up and then go ahead and roll it through. And now we'll get it where the foil is kind of sitting on top of the piece of white cardstock. So, which is really awesome. It just looks so pretty with that gold showing. I love the gold and white. I like the colors, I do, and I like using them, I really do. But I have to admit the gold and white is my absolute fave. At this point, you know, there's always something different could happen. Now, when I do use a solid hot foil plate, I run it through twice, front and back. I find that with the solid hot foil plate, I have more of a tendency to underfoil. You can always heat it back up again and put it back into the machine and run it through. That's fine too. But now that I'm doing it twice, I seem to be having a really good result with that also. So, you know, it's all about learning your machine. When I get a new machine, when I get the Spellbinders Glimmer or the Spellbinders machine, then it's going to be different also. You know, I might have to use a shim. It might be totally different. So now I want to really go ahead with these dies and cut this diamond out. I just love it. It's a complete diamond gold inside, shiny, with a nice white border. It looks so pretty. I should have brought some water. But this is, like I said, this is my first time doing this. I'm really having fun. I know that a lot of people kind of write a script, but while I was editing, I was watching kind of what I was doing, and I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to get on here and wing it and talk through it. So this is what's going on right now. So I'm just lining up the die now. Now I'm using the die. And it also has a die that like you could put on the inside of it, and then you can make a frame. And you could also cut the die out for a middle part that would be like maybe a different color. So this just looks so pretty. I have never had a system like this where you get to use just about every single part of your you know what you're doing. You've got dies, you've got hot foil, you've got 2 ways to hot foil. Look at that. Look how pretty. Now I'm off a little bit on that edge. You know what I'm saying here is that it's okay. It's okay. Just cover it up with a flower. It's really and truly, and you could use flowers from other sets along with these little flowers. Put these little flowers inside other bigger flowers. There's just so much to do. Look how pretty that is. Now, I'm really proud of myself because I messed up before, and I foiled like the gold foil onto the plate. Well, I'm talking there about putting flowers and stuff, but here where I cut, and right there is a piece of tape got right there, and it pulled it off. Again, put more flowers on it. And I'm going to make cards with these. You'll see them in another video. But then, like where the thanks. So what I did was with that sheet of hot foil, I just put it on a piece of scrap paper and made my own piece of gold foil paper and then cut my thanks out. And that thanks comes from one of Yana's sets also, which is absolutely beautiful. It is called, I have it right here, Yana's Layered Script Sentiments. And it has like a happy, a birthday, and a thanks. I'm showing it to you right there. And it also has some shadow dies. And I think you guys will really get a lot of use out of that set. So that's how and I keep saying, when I run out of, which I will, any of the foiled papers that I have here that I've purchased prior to, I will not purchase foil paper ever again. I'll just make it myself. And then, you know, you could cut your words out. Look how pretty that came. That is just gorgeous. That's that one that we ran through twice. And it's just so nice and solid. Just really solid. Very, very happy with this set. I knew I would be. I love her designs. So here what I'm saying is, you know, I put the 2 plates together and I made a little border. I did get a little tape on the foil. It lifted the foil up a little bit, but then again, we could put a flower there. No problem. And then we can use a middle the middle one to cut like even a color cardstock. You could put a pink or anything in there, and in the center. Now I put all of the little flowers on there. I cut some foil, and I used my I used it once and had to use like 2 pieces of paper there, and then now I have one, and now I'm going to cut them out again. And then I put them on the solid hot foil sheet, and I die cut them all out of that also. So that, you know, I like to have like a big pile of flowers both ways, with the hot foil, the positive way, and then the negative way, and then I could pick out what I'd like to actually, you know, use on my card. And then, you know, you have extras. So I'm really proud of my thanks there. That's what I was saying right there. I remember that. I was proud of my thanks because I made my own paper. Now I'm die cutting. It's come out so pretty. And now we're going to go ahead and assemble the card. And we'll just speed this up. And you're going to watch. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so I was just saying there that, you know, I could have cut it down, you know, or something like that. I'm using Gina K Connect glue on my sentiment, on my thanks. Came out really nice. Oh, look, I look at like all the other people that it takes 2 seconds to put glue on something. There we go. And that says thanks. And then here are my little flowers and just some alcohol markers that I have. Use any alcohol markers that you'd like. I zoom in a little bit. And one of my flowers I'm going to leave with the gold. And this one had a little bit of overfoiling on it. I used a little brush to get some of it off. But then the Mono Sand Eraser on the white side, I just use that a little bit and it takes it right off. Makes it look great. And then I go ahead and color. So I use this darker pink color. And you use any pinks that you have. You could use any kind of markers that you have. But what's wonderful about it is the foil resists the marker. So when that happens, now I'm using a lighter shade of pink. So when that happens, you get a nice outline of foil around all of your coloring. Then I'm going to come back in here to do a little bit of shading with my flower. It's pretty the way it is, but I take the darker and I put it in some areas on the flower, just at the base, the here, there, and everywhere. No big deal, you know. I don't worry about, well, the sunlight's coming in from here, and then I need, you know, this here. Just put you some color on there, blend it in with those alcohol markers, and it gives that rose a little dimension. How pretty. Now I have my, my greenery I'm going to color right there. And like I said, the foil is so nice because it resists the alcohol marker. I like that a whole lot. And now I'm going to use this one too. I'll have some extras left over. Make some other cards, or with my other parts and pieces of my diamonds, I will make other cards. Now right here, I decide to put some little pink buds on here. They came out so cute. Just like they were almost ready to pop. Do you know I have daffodils blooming in my backyard? I was like, oh my goodness, they've been up for about a week now. Look how pretty that looks. So now we're going to go ahead and put some, whatever you have, pop dots, what kind of dimensionals, anything to give it a little bit of dimension to pop these flowers up this way. Then we can glue the flowers behind, the greenery, I'm sorry, behind the flowers. How pretty. So here we go. We're just gluing these things in and just having fun. Absolute fun with this card. And when you see me put the leaves on the outside is when all of a sudden this card comes to like life. As soon as you add the greenery, it's just so amazing when you can add just one little thing and all of a sudden it's like, wow, that's it. Now here, I don't know, my glue got stuck. I try my hardest to unclog it and I can't. And of course, off camera, I unclog it in 2 seconds. And the tip on the Tombow is a little big, so I do get excess glue, but it's okay. Here we go. And just layering these little things in there. Put a little block on it to put a little weight. And just glue here, there, and everywhere. adding our little pieces there on the outside. I love the way I offset it. See, I offset the diamonds because the diamonds are to the left, so I added more greenery flowing out to the right. It offset it and made the card look fantastic. I was so happy with it. So absolutely happy with it. So always remember, you can make lemonade out of lemons. Look how pretty this is. We're going to go ahead and glue it to the base is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And the outside is 4 1/4 by 5.5, the exact dimensions of the outside of the card. I'm so happy with the way it turned out. And I'm going to just use some pink pearls. I think they came out really, really pretty on the outside here. And they're just absolutely so sweet. We're going to go ahead on the inside of the card, or I'm sorry, on the envelope, and take some of these flowers and glue them on. Look at that, how we are. Do you know we haven't stamped a thing? We haven't stamped anything. I've just hot foiled, and wow, that came out so beautiful. And then, so, of course, I forget to decorate the inside of the card. And what I did there was I put all the dies in one little baggie and the hot foil plates in another. And so then I opened the card, realized I don't